I started Beautiful Bourbon by accident. On September 2nd, 2019, I took my first photo, and things kind of snowballed from there. Now more people see the Bourbcasts each week, and I continue to find myself in the blissful intersection of bourbon and photography. I'm KC, and I welcome you to enjoy this taste of beautiful bourbon.
Hi, I'm a little unorganized this evening, but what is new? That's what we're finding out here, is that it's just the way it basically is. So let me make sure that everything's running the way I want it to. Refresh, refresh, refresh. Da, 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 da. All right. Looking good. All right, hi guys, gals, folks. Wow, Teresa, hi, you're a first timer. Welcome. Joe, Mac, hi. Oh, this is going to be fun. I'm glad you're all here. Got the fire going, and got this going and this going, and we're going to finish up our journey into Buffalo Trace. It's been fun. We started it with Colonel Taylor, and then we had Buffalo Trace, the namesake of the company, and then we had Sazerac, then we had Eagle Rare, and now this week we're digging into the Stagg Jr. Now I recently had the Elder Stagg, so I did a little research to find out. My light just went out. Watch my batteries be dead. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I have to jump up in the middle of a Bourbcast and go fix my batteries. So, I forgot what I was going to say. It must not have been very important, or I wouldn't have forgotten it. I had the regular Stagg, and it was really good. And this is supposed to be like the little brother of it. We're going to go ahead and get it poured. This is a hot pour, by the way. So, Stagg Jr. batches only come out twice a year. They'll come out, this one I think was mid to late 2020. That's more than enough. So this is batch 13. I'm going to put the cork on it because I got like little gnats flying around. I don't want them in my bottle. So this is batch 13. This is the first one that was accompanied by a press release. All the other ones didn't have it. Now, Stagg 12 was amazingly popular. So Stagg 13, when it came out, people went crazy. And of course, Stagg batch 12 was what everybody compared 13 to. So I happen to get a 13, and I'm going to try it here with you tonight. So let's see. Okay. Hey Kevin, how are you? Welcome, sir. All right. So press release from Buffalo Trace for this release, the first of its kind, declared that it's uncut, unfiltered, 8 years old, with a profile similar to its elder statesman George T. Stagg. So we've talked about the fact that it's basically, when you get Buffalo Trace, it's the same basic bottle or the same basic recipe as Eagle Rare and George T. Stagg and Colonel Taylor small batch. Well, that seems to be the same thing for Stagg Jr. as well. Same recipe. The difference is where it's kept in the warehouse and the proof. So George T. Stagg, we've already talked about, is barrel proof version of all those things, and it has its own little place in the warehouse. Same with this. This is aged around 8 years. It can go a little longer, but generally it's around 8 years. And George T. Stagg is aged 15 years and up. So even barrels that are 16 years and 17 years aren't bottled until they've reached that age. As far as the uncut, that simply means that it isn't diluted with water prior to bottling. So it'll go through its whole barrel age process and so on, and this is being uncut, unfiltered. It is what it is. They're gonna run it through. I can smell that. A little waft of air came my way. Oh, that's nice. I'm gonna like this. So anyway, basically it's the same as George T. Stagg and everything else. It's just a different place in the rick house and aged for a certain amount of time, and it's barrel proof. Okay. Other than that, there's really not a whole lot of difference. All right, so see if there's anything I'm missing. Nope. That's it. That's it. That's all the stuff I wanted to tell you about Stagg Jr. Okay. I'm a little concerned that I'm going to lose another light because that one died. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get into this. All right. I know you don't mind. Let's nose this bad boy. All right. I need something to set it up higher. I'll put it on my. It's a little precarious, isn't it? Stay. I'll give you a treat later. My lips. Be treated with my lips. Okay, let's do the nose. That is a wonderful bouquet. It has got full body, fruity a little bit. First thing that comes to mind is cherries. Oak is definitely present. Yeah, so Eagle Rare was tough to find, the bouquet. It was a little bit on the sedate side compared to this. But this is 128 proof. So this is a little hottie. Let's get it aimed. All right. I forgot to put the, hey Ryan, how are you? Sir, it's nice to have you along. I hope you all have something to drink, even if it's not this, because this is tough to find. Generally, I think $50, $60 a bottle, MSRP. Of course, you get out of the state of Ohio where it's not controlled and it's going to be up there. Yeah, there's definitely some fruit there, maybe a little licorice. Buffalo Trace says their nose is rich, sweet, brown sugar flavors mingled in perfect balance with bold rye spiciness. I think that's more probably palate than nose. Another one I got, big cherry comes through. Okay, I got that. Apricot. I'm not picking up any apricot. Smokiness I got, cherries and cloves maybe. Nah, I got cherries and smoke. So normally I like to let it sit for a little while, but in the interest of time for that light, since that one decided to die for no good reason whatsoever, let's just give it a taste. Okay, so this is not what I expected. It's like a lion. Not a big deer, not a stag, a lion. It sneaks up on you like you're its prey and just starts to nibble a little bit. And I can't say that it's a typical bloom that just kind of starts in the middle of your tongue and goes out. Instead, it kind of just sneaks up on you, just sits there. And then when it's ready, it sticks its claws all the way in and goes, hello, I'm chewing on your tongue. That's kind of the feeling I got out of it. The proof on this is significant, but it's a slow burn. It's unusual, and I did not expect that. So now that I've been acclimated, let's do it again. Okay, that's really good. Really, really good. Somebody's talking to me. Austin. Yeah. Austin says it'll sneak up on you. And it did. It did. And the finish is long. That burn on the tongue is long. So I do not recommend this with like Mexican food, anything hot, because you'll feel it. All right, so their tasting notes go something like this. Not overpowering in aromas. Big cherry comes through, and even some apricot. Brown sugar, white grape. I can see the white grape. There are definitely some flavors in there that are beyond the cherry. I'm getting a little bit of tobacco. Excuse me. Oaky fruits, dark cherry, dried cherries. For those of you that can tell the difference between dark cherry and dried cherries, good on you. Vanilla and cinnamon. Cinnamon, yeah, pepper more than cinnamon for me. There's cinnamon there, but for me that's not a predominant flavor for me. The dark cherry, the fruit side of it's really coming out more than anything else. A dark candy here, but not quite toffee. I'll agree with that too. There's something dark about it, and toffee would be too sweet. So I'm not going to say that it's toffee. Yeah, so it says, but not quite brown sugar or caramel either, so go figure that one out. Well, I'm going to tell you, I think it's leather and maybe tobacco. Young tobacco, not like rotting tobacco, which was a problem in tobacco, by the way. That's why a lot of the tobacco plantations, even in Ohio and West Virginia, converted over to wine. And that's why they became wineries and vineyards, because the grapes would grow great in areas that you couldn't do other row crops. And tobacco is one of those that grows in places that other row crops doesn't, but they had black rot problems. So I just happened to pick that up when I was on a winery tour down south. Knowledge. Okay. I know what it is now. That darkness is a dark chocolate. And I've heard of that. I've heard that the dark chocolate can permeate the Stagg Jr. as well as the George T. Stagg. I don't remember picking that up on George T. Stagg, but I'm getting a little bit out of this. This is such a hot pour, and it stays on the tongue for so long, it's really difficult to pull out certain flavors. So one of the recommendations that I got, and one of the things we were going to do anyway, so let's just do it, is bring down that proof a little bit. I'm going to sit it down here because I'm worried I'm going to spill it. Bring down that proof a little bit with a pinch of water. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Very good, very good, very good. All right. So I love this thing. This has been one of the best investments I've ever made. I'm going to give it a little bit more. That's unusual for me, but with the proof being so high, I want to really give it its best shot and take out just some of that heat so I can get some good flavoring. We're just giving a little twirl here. So next week, we're going to be done with Buffalo Trace, and we're going to get into something that I've been a little curious about. I hear ups and downs about it. We're going to try next week on Thursday at 7:30 chicken cock. We're going to try the I have both the bourbon and the rye, and we're going to try them both. I'm not great with back-to-back, so don't expect too much, but I'm going to give them a shot. All right, so with water. That was cool. So I got a burst of vanilla, and right on the front of my tongue, as soon as I did it, I had a little bit of mint, just a very refreshing type of a sense. Chocolate's still there, pepper's still there. I'm getting a little bit more of the cinnamon, but vanilla leapt out at me like that. The proof is still really high, and maybe I'm still burning from when I drank it neat, but I'm actually going to take another step here. And I'm going to give it another half squirt of water, just to tone that down just a little bit more. I do like a high proof whiskey, but I like to be able to taste it. And what I'll tell you that's different about George Stagg Jr. and the George T. Stagg, this is, depends on the year, depends on the release, but this actually is, in some cases, a higher proof than the George T. Stagg. I will tell you that the George T. Stagg did not present itself as hot as this. It was much more flavorful. My lips, the inside of my lips are numb right now. So the George T. Stagg, its older brother, or daddy, presented itself as much more smooth, not near as bitey. The flavors were intense, but it was still barrel proof. Okay? All right. One more shot here. Zach, how are you? Welcome to the shoe. This is some hot stuff right here, Stagg Jr. This is some. I thought Rare Breed was hot, and it is. This is hot. Hot. All right. Oh man, I will tell you, you can drink it hot if you want to, but you knock it down with a little water, the flavors just burst. It's, what was that gum that had the flavor center and you chewed on it and it went Gushers? That was one, and there was another one. When I was a young lad, there was one that you would bite into and it had this jelly goo inside and it would gush into your mouth. Kind of disgusting now that I think about it as an older person, but I can't remember what it was. But anyhow, it kind of reminds me of that, where after having it other ways, now I have it this way, and the flavors are just bursting forward. That dark cherry is there. It's just very, very pronounced, and it's really, really good. That mixed with the vanilla and the cinnamon, oh man, this is good. This is so full of flavor. You got to get rid of the heat to get to the flavor. Holy cow. And this is only an 8-year age. Eagle Rare is 10. Just a lot lower proof. And it's the same recipe. And Eagle Rare, other than George T. Stagg, which was so smooth and so flavorful and so wonderful, Eagle Rare is my favorite. But putting water on this, now, I say Eagle Rare is my favorite other than Stagg because I didn't have to put water on it. This one I do, and I can't qualify it as a favorite because I had to put water on it to get full flavoring out of it. It's fair to it to give it what it is for what it is. And this just needed a little bit of help for me to be able to pull out all the flavors. All right, here we go, one more. Yeah, it's got so much going on. That oak, I would almost hazard to say that the oak in it reminds me almost of a dark mahogany. It's just got a luster to it, this elegance that that oak just doesn't seem to give it enough praise. You know, it's just quite delicious. All right, so Lester, hello, sir, hello. I know you were kind of looking forward to this one, so here we go. We've tasted the Stagg Jr. on, well, neat, and I really liked it. We still burning? Oh yeah, we're still burning. Now it's time to go with the ice sphere. Not ice fear, ice sphere. Don't fear the ice. Well, with bourbon you should, kinda. Are you having fun? I always have fun doing this. I hope you're drinking along with at least something. And since this is high proof, Maybe you have something high proof. Just a suggestion. I could wait for a minute if you want to go get something and drink along with me. No, I'm not waiting. All right. It's funny, we got this started, or just about to get this started, and it was chaotic. I couldn't find my phone, so I couldn't monitor who's here, and kids were playing back over there. A neighbor was mowing, and I was cooking chicken legs on the grill. So I had just enough time to get this started. And even when I started it, it was running. And I couldn't find my phone. And that's, again, how I see who's here. Just a little easier than using the computer. All right, so this is my elegant clear ice sphere. I make these 6 or 8 at a time. And they're ready when I need them. I do have some that aren't clear, and I don't use them when I'm doing the Bourbcast because I really want to give you the best presentation that there is for these products. And if I'm doing something that isn't clear, I see it as unpure. And we cast out the unpure. We burn them at the stake. Here's another thing you may not know. I found this out. I went up to Maine. I'm a screenwriter, and I went up to Maine in 2018 because that's where screenwriters go to write. It's Maine. Just ask, like everybody. So I went up there to write, and so we came. I was trying to remember the point of my story. As we were coming back, we went through Salem, Massachusetts. I wanted to take a tour of the witch trials. There wasn't a single witch burned at the stake in the United States. I think the majority of the witches, maybe not all, but like most, were hung. I even saw the, shucks, I can't think of what it's called. I want to call it Gobbler's Knob, but that's where that's where Puxatawney Phil comes out. This is Proctor's Ledge. Proctor's Ledge is where they call the place where they did the majority of the hangings back during the Salem witch trials. Why I went off on that tangent, I don't know. Maybe it's because this bourbon's hot. See what I did there? Bourbon hot. Sorry. It's cold now. Let's try it. That's interesting. That smoke is the first thing I got in toffee. Toffee's present with ice. Smoke was the first thing that I got. It's like drinking a cigar, if you like cigars. If you don't like cigars, it's not like drinking a cigar. That was the first thing I got on ice. That was incredible. If you're a Scotch fan, you might try this. Let's go again. Okay. The fruit is gone. The vanilla is gone. I got leather, smoke. There is something very, very flavorful though. On the legs, I've got something very flavorful, very delightful. But it's not anything I've tasted before. Let's see what they say. What sphere molds do you use, Austin? What was the proof on the bottle you're drinking? Teresa, this one is hot. This one is 128.4. Believe it or not, I have hotter drinks downstairs. They're ryes, and they're Ohio ryes. And we will do those this summer at some point. I will get to them. I have to build up the courage. I got 3 of them. 3? 3 or 4. I think it's 3. So batch 16 is 130.2, says Kevin. This one is batch 13 It's 128.6. Jose, welcome, sir. Thank you for coming along. Vicky, hello. The sphere molds, Austin. I will post a link again to the sphere molds after we're done, because to do it now, I'd have to go back and research all the different Bourbcast and find it, or go to Amazon and find it now, and I don't want to do it now, but I will post a link. I love it. It does 2 at a time, but there's a brand new one I just found that'll do 6 big ones like this at a time and 18 small ones at a time. That's my next purchase. Excuse me. It does a whole lot of other ice things too. Everything's on back order. For all I know, it was like a, what's the shark thing on TV? That, or some sort of a, maybe a GoFundMe type of a launch, or who knows. I don't know what it was, but I found it and I'm in love with it. I'm gonna marry it. and I'm gonna have one, because the amount of ice spheres I can get all at once, incredible. And I'll pay whatever they want me to pay. I'll get it. And then of course the small ice spheres, which are really nice for smaller glasses like this, although this one is doing quite nicely. All right. So their finish, according to this, I don't even know who it was that I visited, but they said that the finish is sweet and long, caramel, fruit, which I can agree with completely, vanilla. On ice, that goes away. Neat though, I will agree. Spice, more vanilla, oak comes through for sure. There aren't reviews online for what happens when you put it on ice. It just doesn't happen. They all do it neat, and that's the way it should be done, but Stagg Jr. is just a hot one. And it's tough to pull out those notes until you let it have its day with a little bit of water or a little bit of ice. Let me go back to the comments, make sure I'm not missing anything. Teresa, I wouldn't tell you that you should be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of opening the 131. Just understand that you may not like it at full proof, and it may not be the drink that you want, but that you can craft it into the drink that you do want by adding ice. Matter of fact, do it the way that I did it, right? So try it neat, just try it. Get the burn on the tongue. I've heard that when you taste bourbons, that you put it on your tongue and you let it sit for 12 seconds. That gets rid of all that culture shock or sticker shock, depending on how you want to put it. So do that first. Once that's done, you should be able to take another neat dram and be all right with it. But if it's still too much, like it was for me, because I couldn't pull out the flavors, then do it again, only add an ounce and a half of water. Start with an ounce and then move up. Or start with a half ounce and then move up until it fits your palate and you can start pulling things out of it. And then, if you're still wanting to explore like I do, then use an ice sphere. You can even use ice cubes. Just be aware that ice cubes have more surface area, and it's going to melt those cubes a lot faster, and you're going to dilute your drink a lot faster. I do like to try it all different ways to give you the idea of what the different expressions are, neat, on water, and with ice as a sphere. Some of these I do make cocktails with, so make sure that you're watching week after week. Some of them I do make cocktails with. These, the Buffalo Trace products, they're too hard to find. I'm not going to make a cocktail with Buffalo Trace products. I might as well use something like Old Granddad or Evan Williams Bottle and Bond or Larceny, or there's a million of them. And I've done cocktails with golly, I've done them with Jameson and a bunch. So this is cold enough. Let's do it again. Teresa, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Just do it. I was joking, actually drinking Eagle Rare tonight. Oh, that's a great one. I really like that. Austin says tank. I don't know what you mean by that. But if you're talking about the movie from the 80s, it was a really good movie. That guy from the Rockford Files, whose name escapes me all of a sudden. Anyway. And it had the chick from Three's Company in it, too. The one who replaced, not Suzanne Summers, but the other one. The brunette. not Joyce DeWitt. Doesn't matter. Yeah, see, this is ice and no water. And ice will take down the heat, but not leave you with a low proof drink. It's going to melt a little bit in there, but the caramel came out, the cinnamon came out, now it's become a bourbon, right? It's actually quite tasty. Now, would I have it on ice often? That's a tough call. I like ice for drinks that I would refer to as refreshing on ice, and there have been a few. The Peerless Bourbon was one that I thought was downright refreshing on ice. I don't know that I'd call this one refreshing, but it definitely has a lot of flavor on ice. Had a lot of flavor on water too, and all that proof, all that burn is gone. That fruitiness is just a big part of Stagg Jr. I really like the flavor profile of this bourbon, even though it's really hot and neat, and it's a little bit difficult to appreciate when it's neat. If you're not into really, really hot bourbons and you want to get a full flavor profile. That's funny. If you want to get a full flavor, I almost did it again, full flavor profile, then neat is probably not a great idea for Stagg Jr. because with all this heat, it's only aged 8 years and it's still, I think for the barrel proof, it's a little immature. Whereas George T. Stagg is aged for at least twice that amount. And it's much more smooth, much more flavorful, neat. The difference is many hundreds of dollars and ability to find. So if you can find this one, and it's on the shelf twice a year, and it is tasty if you know how to taste it. And fortunately, here, because of me, you've learned how to taste it. It is very, very good. As far as flavors go, it's probably one of the most complex of the Buffalo Traces. And I love the Buffalo Trace products. The Sazerac was delicious. I had the 6-year. I'd like to try the 18-year. I'd like to try the barrel proof. You know, Buffalo Trace is the flagship, and it's delicious. It's great. Buffalo or Eagle Rare. God bless you, Teresa, for being able to find a bottle of that. It's still my favorite General, right out of the bottle, bourbon. And there are a lot. I've tasted a lot, and I like a lot. There's a lot of bourbons I really, really like, and Eagle Rare's at the top of the list. But this one, if you know how to treat it, if you know how to massage it, give it a little love. Massage it and love it and caress it. And if you know how to do that, she'll make sweet love to you. She will come out of her genie bottle and give you all the magic that is contained therein. Wow. It's really deep for a Bourbcast. Wow. Sometimes I impress myself. All right, that's really about all I've got for you. I'm going to check comments and see if anybody's talking. Oh, Aaron says he's on his way. Shark Tank, that's it. When you reference the ice molds. Yes, Shark Tank, that's what I was talking about, Austin. Thank you for that. Aaron says he's on his way. Yeah, he thinks I'm going to share. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's great. I might. He won't like it. He doesn't like hot drinks. I would have to really put like maybe a half a gallon of water in this for him to be able to drink and go, yummy. Just the way it is. All right, guys. So I don't think there's anything coming up before next Thursday. So next Thursday, again, we're going to get into the chicken cock products because I've heard mixed results out of those, just like I do out of everything Buffalo Trace. From the Blantons to the E.H. Taylor to everything, there's just mixed reviews on everything. I have not disliked anything from Buffalo Trace, with possibly the exception of the bottom shelf Benchmark. It's tasty, Just doesn't have the mouthfeel that I prefer. Everything else I've been able to enjoy one way or the other. But we're going to get into the chicken cock, and some people love it. Some people think it's overrated. Some people just don't like it at all. That's next Thursday on Beautiful Bourbon. In the meantime, again, the purpose of Beautiful Bourbon was not to do what I'm doing now, but moreover to take pictures of the bourbon that I'm drinking, and it just morphed into this out of nowhere, and I've been having fun doing it. I love taking the photos. Everybody's on board with it. When I go someplace and they say, hey, can I take a photo at your property? They say, yeah. It's been fun. This Bourbcast part of it has just been something that's come along as a result. And it's a blast. And the fact that so many people are watching it is even more fun. And the fact that you're going to share it, hint, hint, on Instagram and Facebook. And you're going to go to the blog, beautifulbourbon.com. And you're going to tell people about that, which I need to really update because I haven't. Sorry. I'm not looking to make a penny out of this. I haven't asked Buffalo Trace or anybody to send me anything to review. I buy it myself. So it's just something that I like doing, and it's been fun. Some things coming up in the future. In July, I have a trip to Lexington, which is Frankfurt is on the way. So you may get something from me in July. September has 2 trips to Kentucky. One is for work, which will take me back to Lexington. The next one is to get me to Bardstown, where I will be attending the Sunday Bourbon Festival. All the passes were sold out. That was the best I could do. And all I can do at this point is hope to get somebody to interview. We'll be doing tasting there. We'll be doing all sorts of stuff there. And then I'll be back in Louisville in October. Again, that one's for work, but you can count on hearing from me as we do that. In the meantime, we'll be here every Thursday, or when there's a special holiday, like we had a couple of them recently. We had that last Saturday was Gin Day, and then Monday was National Bourbon Day. We'll keep going. We're going to keep it going. This is fun. And I hope that you enjoy it. I hope you come back, and I hope you share it with others. And I am going to pour another one on ice because I like the flavors that came out of it. And Teresa, I hope you do the same. Anybody else? I'm just going to put these on upside down. 30 minutes, he says. Aaron says he's coming over in 30 minutes. I'll have this gone by then. See? Gone. Out of sight, out of mind. Thanks again for watching. I've totally enjoyed myself, and I hope you have too. If you have suggestions about things you want me to do, things you want me to taste, things you liked about the Bourbcast, things you didn't like about the Bourbcast, let me know. I do this because you are here, because I'm enjoying myself, and I want you to enjoy yourself as well. So please, offer me feedback. Let me know what you like, what you didn't like, what you want me to do. Kevin can tell you. Kevin can tell you that if you make a suggestion, I will do it. He's had a couple suggestions, and we followed along each time. Last Saturday was one of them. He wanted me to taste Aviator Gin, and I did. Aviation Gin, pardon me, and I did. So if you have suggestions, things you want me to do, if it hasn't already been done, I'll do it. I'll be your huckleberry. If I can find it, of course. That sometimes is the tough part. So thank you again. I look forward to seeing you again next Thursday at 7:30 for the Bourbcast on Beautiful Bourbon, and God bless.